I'm Aaron, and this is my brother,
Alan.
and we're going to be talking about the 1989 film Communion.
This one right here.
It's totally legit. We didn't pirate it. So,
No, we didn't.
we tried. But anyhow, we started thinking about things we wanted to do for YouTube, and we were talking about horror movies or interesting movies, supernatural, paranormal. That's kind of our bag. And this was the first one we thought of to look at critically. Or not even critically, I guess, but anyhow, we'll take it away, just give you a quick rundown of the film, and then we'll get down to our impressions after my brother here's done talking about it a little bit.
Well, basically it's a classic alien abduction story. You know, you could probably guess what the story would be. You'd probably be pretty close to hitting it on the head. It's about a man who is having trouble sleeping at night, and he thinks he's hallucinating, you know, what you would expect. I guess that's pretty well it for the story.
yeah, it's fairly simple.
He goes to see psychologists, and he thinks he's going crazy, but it's actually much worse.
Yeah, they take a very, just one incident. It's like if you had a night terror, and then the film is built around the idea that you'd go to a psychologist to try to dissect it, see what was going on in your head. If there's like chemical problems, you know, try different drugs on you, different techniques, try to get you to sleep easy. But this is a guy that, you know, can't deal with what he's seeing, and it's aliens.
Pretty standard stuff. But I still like this movie a lot. There is one thing about it though that you know, it is Christopher Walken. So he's going to be a little crazy in this movie, and there is some genuinely creepy stuff, you know. Some of this stuff did send a chill up my spine, you know, when I saw it, but the movie kind of fights against itself, you know. It'll have some genuinely creepy things in there, and then Christopher Walken goes off the wall.
Yeah, and, or sometimes during the creepiness.
Or during the creepy things, you know, he gets a little nutty, but you know, I'd say that's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit too. I think it's because of Christopher Walken, and I do like his style of not necessarily overacting, but it's countering the movie. Because if you were to remove him and replace somebody with kind of a more realistic approach, suddenly you get a movie of people laying on couches, on beds, sitting in chairs, and they're not using the space, exploring the space.
Is that your Walken impression?
Yeah, well, that's him more cowbell. Explore the space. It's horrible, but yeah, I have to agree. It's some really good visuals, some really chilling stuff, and even though, like, you know, as adults, it didn't hit as hard as it would have if we were kids. It's still a very interesting movie to look at. There's some great imagery. And if you ever had a fear of stuff like this, yeah, you'll be brought right back into it. So, you know, I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
We concur.
We concur. No, it's really a generational thing. Like, we grew up in the 90s, and this kind of stuff used to get under my skin.
Oh yeah, I was terrified of aliens. Mm-hmm. You know, just summing that all up, I hate the idea of alien abductions, and this is probably one of the straightest depictions. You know, they don't really get artsy a lot of the time. They do the best with the budget they have, and they pull it off. There's really not a whole lot to say. Is that I think the one thing that comes across in this film is it's trying to be honest with itself. It's trying to be genuine with the subject matter, and it kind of happens because it's told from the guy's perspective that was a big part of producing the movie, Whitley Strieber.
Mm. Well, you know, basically it's a really unconventional horror movie. Like, usually you would think of some, you know, killer or ghost or monster like that. It's really unconventional, And bottom line, I think definitely pick this up, see it any way you can. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. So,
Oh, yeah.
What's your final take on this whole thing?
My final take is it's a definite must-see, and if you enjoy anything supernatural, paranormal, it's a must-own. It adds a lot to the genre. It's like one of the trailblazers for the alien abduction subgenre of, I don't know if it's sci-fi, I don't know if it's horror, I don't know if it's a thriller, but it's kind of all those rolled together. And yeah, I'd slot it in as one of my favorites.
Me too. This is one of my favorite movies, probably of all time.
Well, I had to watch this because I heard him just talk nothing but good things about it. And eventually I just got sat down last week and I gave it my first honest watch. Like, I've seen parts of it, he's shown me clips on YouTube and, you know, the strange clips of Christopher Walken, but as a whole movie, it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And, well, I guess that about wraps it up for now. Communion.
Yeah,
You'll
like it.
I think you'll like it a lot. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and be sure to jump in with us next time. We're going to be talking about some more movies. Come and hang out. And leave comments. We're always open to suggestions for movies we might not have seen. So feel free to jump in whenever. Thanks again, and have a good night.
Good night.
Much better.
That was a lot better.
I can live.